The Sheliak's mistake was thinking a pre-warp species like humans would be easy prey to enslave and subjugate. They were about to learn a painful lesson about humanity's true strength. Randy Baker stood on the bridge of the Earth Defense Fleet's flagship, EDS Retribution, muscles tense as he stared at the viewscreen. A massive alien armada approached Earth, weapons charged and shields raised. The Sheliak had sent an arrogant transmission, claiming humanity's divided nations and primitive tech made them vulnerable to conquest. Randy remembered the blood, sweat and tears it took to unite Earth's governments, the long nights building secret advanced weaponry, just for a moment like this, to defend humanity's home. He turned to face his crew, soldiers from every corner of the globe. "Today we fight for our right to live free," Randy said, voice booming through the ship. "The Sheliak think we're spineless cowards that will give up our planet without shedding their blood, but we'll make them regret underestimating the human race." Roars of approval filled the bridge as the crew leapt to battle stations, fingers flying over consoles, eyes filled with fire. As the first volleys from the alien fleet streaked toward Earth, the EDS Retribution's engines flared to life, accelerating to meet the Sheliak head-on. Today, against all odds, this small band of humans would decide the fate of their entire species. They had to win, or every man, woman and child on the planet below would suffer in alien chains. There would be no second chances. Randy glared at the view screen as the ships grew closer, his hands curled into fists. "All right, you alien bastards, you want Earth?" A savage grin spread across his face. "Come and take it." The comms console on the Retribution's bridge beeped urgently, cutting through the tense silence. Randy strode over, muscles taut with anticipation. The message was from Earth's intelligence network, reporting a crucial development in the Sheliak's battle plan. "Sir, our spies have confirmed that Raxor himself is leading the invasion," the comms officer reported, eyes wide. "He's commanding the fleet from his dreadnought, the Devastator." Randy's mind raced, seeing the opportunity presented. If they could take out Raxor, it would deal a crippling blow to the Sheliak's chain of command. It might even be enough to send the invaders into a panicked retreat. He spun to face his crew, voice ringing with authority. "Change of plans. We're going to cloak the Retribution and infiltrate the enemy fleet. Our target is Raxor's dreadnought." The bridge erupted into action as the crew rushed to carry out his orders. The Retribution shimmered and vanished from sight, its advanced stealth technology masking it from the Sheliak's sensors. Engines humming, the invisible ship slipped past the alien defenses, weaving through the enemy ranks. As they closed in on the Devastator's position, Randy activated a secure channel to Earth's hidden defense grid. Scattered throughout the solar system, camouflaged weapon platforms and stealth ships lay in wait, ready to strike on his command. "All units, prepare for a coordinated assault on my signal," Randy ordered. "Let's hit these bastards from every angle and show them what happens when they mess with Earth." Confirmations poured in from the hidden forces, their weapons locked and primed. Randy felt a surge of pride at the ingenuity and bravery of Earth's defenders. The Sheliak had no idea what they were in for. In the armory, Randy suited up alongside his hand-picked squad of elite Marines. They donned advanced powered exoskeletons, the mechanical limbs amplifying their strength and speed. EMP rifles hummed in their hands, ready to fry any alien tech they encountered. As the Retribution matched course with the Devastator, Randy gave a final briefing to his team. "Our objective is to capture or eliminate Raxor. We cut off the head of the snake, and the rest will fall into chaos. Earth is counting on us." The Marines nodded grimly, determination etched on their faces. They knew the risks, but they were ready to lay down their lives for their planet. With a bone-rattling impact, the Retribution's boarding clamps latched onto the Devastator's hull. Alarms blared as the human ship's laser cutters burned through the alien armor, carving an entry point. Randy raised his rifle, adrenaline surging through his veins. "Breach in 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go!" The Marines charged through the smoking hole, weapons blazing, their battle cries echoing through the alien ship. Sheliak warriors swarmed to meet them, energy bolts filling the air. Randy led the way, his exoskeleton-enhanced speed making him a blur of deadly precision. They fought their way deeper into the Devastator, leaving a trail of sparking Sheliak corpses in their wake. Randy's heart pounded as they pushed toward the bridge, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. Earth's fate hung in the balance, and failure was not an option. The Sheliak warriors were relentless in their assault, green energy bolts sizzling through the air as they tried to halt the Marines' advance. The hulking aliens had the advantage of numbers and raw strength, but the humans' powered exoskeletons evened the odds. Randy ducked behind a sparking console as a burst of plasma scorched the wall above his head. He popped up, firing his EMP rifle into the chest of a charging Sheliak. The alien convulsed as the electromagnetic pulse fried its armor's circuits, and it dropped to the deck with a heavy thud. "Keep pushing forward," Randy shouted over the din of battle. "We're almost to the bridge." His squad fought with grim determination, leapfrogging from cover to cover as they traded fire with the Sheliak. Private Garcia took a glancing hit to the shoulder, the energy bolt searing through her armor and flesh. She gritted her teeth and kept fighting, her rifle spitting blue bolts of EMP energy. Back on Earth, the skies above the planet erupted into a maelstrom of fire and destruction. Hidden silos opened like the petals of deadly flowers, revealing the gleaming barrels of ion cannons and plasma turrets. The weapons roared to life, hurling streams of superheated matter and charged particles at the approaching Sheliak ships. The alien vessels reeled under the unexpected onslaught, their shields flaring as they tried to withstand the barrage. From secret underground hangars, swarms of human fighters burst forth like angry hornets. They engaged the Sheliak craft in a vicious close-quarters dogfight, darting and weaving through the enemy formations. Graviton torpedoes and antimatter missiles streaked from the Earth Defense Fleet's capital ships, their exotic warheads tearing through the alien shields and hulls with devastating force. The battle was a chaotic tempest of energy beams, explosions and desperate maneuvers. Both sides fought with a ferocity born of the knowledge that the fate of an entire world hung in the balance. On the Devastator, Randy and his battered squad finally reached the bridge. They blasted through the sealed doors, EMP rifles at the ready. The sight that greeted them was like something out of a nightmare. Raxa stood at the center of the bridge, a towering figure clad in midnight black power armor. His elite guard fanned out around him, their weapons trained on the humans. The alien commander's eyes glowed with malevolent intent as he regarded the intruders. "Foolish humans," Raxa sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "You think you can challenge the might of the Sheliak Empire? I will personally crush your pathetic resistance and enslave your world." He raised his massive energy blade, the weapon humming with barely restrained power. Randy felt a chill run down his spine at the sight of the formidable alien warrior. But he pushed down his fear, gritting his teeth as he raised his own weapon. He knew that the fate of Earth rested on his shoulders. If they failed here, on the bridge of the Devastator, then all the sacrifices and bravery of Earth's defenders would be for nothing. Randy met Raxa's glowing gaze, his finger tightening on the trigger of his EMP rifle. "We'll never surrender to you, Raxa, not as long as a single human still draws breath." The alien commander let out a guttural laugh. "Then prepare to die, human, you and your entire pathetic species." With a roar of unleashed fury, Raxa charged forward, his energy blade slicing through the air in a blinding arc. Randy's squad opened fire, EMP bolts filling the bridge with strobing blue light. The final battle for Earth had begun, and only one side would emerge victorious. Raxa charged, swinging his energy blade in a vicious arc. Randy's exoskeleton-enhanced reflexes saved his life as he dodged the blow by millimeters. Sparks flew as their weapons clashed, the human's EMP rifle straining against the alien's superior strength. They traded blows in a deadly dance, moving faster than the eye could follow. Around them, Randy's Marines battled Raxa's elite guard in a brutal melee. Corporal Jones grappled with a hulking Sheliak warrior, using his exoskeleton's enhanced strength to hold the alien in a headlock. Private Garcia fired her EMP rifle into the chest of another guard, the electromagnetic pulse shorting out its armor's systems. The bridge had become a chaotic whirlwind of close-quarters combat, energy bolts and sparks filling the air. Marines and Sheliak guards fell on both sides, their bodies littering the deck. On Earth, the tide was turning. The planet's hidden defenses unleashed a storm of ion cannon and plasma fire, ripping through the Sheliak fleet's formations. Antimatter missiles from the Earth Defense Fleet's capital ships detonated in blinding flashes, tearing alien ships apart from the inside out. Human fighters swarmed the Sheliak vessels like angry hornets, pummeling them with graviton torpedoes and EMP bombs. The alien ships reeled under the onslaught, their shields failing and hulls buckling. But the cost was high. Cities burned as stray energy bolts and debris from the battle rained down on the surface. Skyscrapers toppled, and streets were choked with rubble and the bodies of the fallen. Earth was winning, but at a terrible price. Back on the Devastator's bridge, Randy and Raxa's duel reached a fever pitch. The human soldier landed a solid blow with his EMP rifle, temporarily shorting out Raxa's power armor. The alien commander staggered back, his defenses weakened. Sensing victory, Randy pressed his advantage. He lunged forward, aiming to deliver a final crippling strike, but Raxa had one last trick up his sleeve. With a roar of fury, the Sheliak commander activated a hidden device on his armor. A blinding flash of light erupted from his chest, followed by a massive explosion that engulfed the entire bridge. Randy, his Marines, and Raxa's elite guard were caught at the epicenter of the blast. The shockwave slammed into them like a physical wall, hurling them through the air like rag dolls. Consoles exploded and bulkheads buckled as the Devastator's bridge tore itself apart. The explosion sent out a powerful electromagnetic pulse that washed over the nearby ships, human and Sheliak alike. Shields failed, and systems went haywire as the EMP fried delicate electronics. The battle descended into chaos as ships on both sides lost power and collided with each other. Amidst the confusion, the remnants of the Earth Defense Fleet rallied. They focused their fire on the disorganized Sheliak ships, exploiting the gaps in their defenses. The alien fleet, already battered and demoralized, began to crumble under the renewed human assault. Sheliak ships broke formation, fleeing before the human onslaught. The Earth Defense Fleet pursued them, harrying the retreating aliens with long-range fire. The once mighty Sheliak armada was reduced to a ragged band of survivors, limping away from Earth's orbit in disgrace. The battle was over. Earth had emerged victorious, but the cost had been immense. Cities lay in ruins and countless lives had been lost, and on the shattered bridge of the Devastator, the fates of Randy and his Marines remained unknown, lost in the smoke and debris of Raxa's final desperate gambit. In the aftermath of the battle, rescue teams combed through the wreckage of the Devastator, searching for survivors. They found Randy's body among the twisted metal and shattered bulkheads, his exoskeleton battered and broken. The soldier had given his life to defend Earth, and his sacrifice would be remembered as a shining example of humanity's indomitable spirit. As Earth began the long process of rebuilding and mourning the fallen, the survivors knew that the war was far from over. The Sheliak Empire, humiliated by their defeat and the loss of Raxa, would not let this insult go unanswered. They would return, seeking revenge and the subjugation of humanity. Earth had won the battle, but the war stretched out before them, a long and bloody conflict that would test the limits of human endurance and ingenuity. The people of Earth steeled themselves for the trials ahead, knowing that they would need every ounce of courage and determination to survive the coming storm. The war between humanity and the Sheliak had only just begun, and the future was uncertain. But one thing was clear: Earth would never surrender, no matter the odds. They would fight to the bitter end, united in their determination to protect their home and their way of life. The Sheliak had underestimated the strength of the human spirit, and they would learn the true cost of their arrogance in the battles to come. In the aftermath of the devastating battle, Earth's leaders gathered in a solemn ceremony to honor the fallen heroes. The grand hall was draped in black, the air heavy with grief, and the weight of countless lives lost. Portraits of the deceased lined the walls, their faces etched with the determination and courage that had defined humanity's stand against the Sheliak. As the eulogies began, A commotion erupted at the back of the hall. The crowd parted, gasps and murmurs rippling through the room as a battered and bloodied figure stumbled forward. It was Randy Baker, his once proud uniform torn and stained, his face a mask of pain and desperation. The room erupted into chaos as people rushed to the gravely wounded soldier's side. Medics pushed through the throng, their voices urgent as they assessed Randy's injuries. He had barely survived the explosion on the Devastator, clinging to life through sheer force of will. With a trembling hand, Randy grasped the arm of the nearest medic, his voice a hoarse whisper. "Raxa. He's alive. The explosion. He survived." The words sent a chill through the room, the weight of their implications sinking in. If Raxa had survived, then the Sheliak threat was far from over. Randy fought for breath, his eyes blazing with a desperate intensity. He's fled to a secret base on the edge of the solar system, planning another attack, a doomsday weapon, capable of destroying Earth. The soldier's voice grew weaker, his life ebbing away with each passing second. "You must finish what we started, end the Sheliak threat, once and for all." With a final, shuddering breath, Randy's eyes closed, his body going limp in the arms of the medics. The room fell silent, a palpable sense of shock and grief settling over the gathered leaders. But even in the depths of their sorrow, a spark of determination ignited. Randy's sacrifice and the sacrifices of all those who had fallen would not be in vain. Earth's leaders steeled themselves, their resolve hardening into an unbreakable core. They would honor Randy's final plea. They would seek out Raxa's hidden base and destroy the Sheliak commander before he could unleash his world-ending weapon. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and they would not fail. As the leaders mobilized for a final, desperate mission, they assembled an elite team of soldiers, scientists and engineers, the best and brightest that Earth had to offer. Each member of the team knew the stakes, knew that they might not return from this perilous journey. But they accepted the risk willingly, driven by a fierce determination to protect their home and avenge the fallen. They boarded a sleek, heavily armed vessel, its hull emblazoned with the symbol of Earth's united defenses. As the ship blasted off into the void, the team prepared themselves for the battles to come. They checked their weapons, studied the scant intelligence they had on Raxa's base, and steeled their nerves for the horrors that awaited them. The journey to the outskirts of the solar system was fraught with danger, the ship navigating through treacherous asteroid fields and running silent to avoid detection by Sheliak patrols. Each day brought them closer to their target and to the final confrontation that would decide the fate of their world. When they finally reached the coordinates of Raxa's hidden base, the team knew they were heading into the heart of darkness. The Sheliak stronghold was a looming, fortified monstrosity, bristling with weapons and teeming with the alien commander's most fanatical warriors. But the team did not falter. With grim determination, they breached the base's outer defenses, their weapons blazing as they cut through the first wave of Sheliak resistance. The air was thick with the stench of burnt metal and ozone as energy bolts crisscrossed the narrow corridors. The team fought their way deeper into the base, facing wave after wave of Sheliak warriors and deadly traps. They moved with precision and skill, their training and determination driving them forward even as their numbers dwindled. In the heart of the base, they finally confronted Raxa himself. The Sheliak commander was a towering figure of malevolence, his eyes burning with hatred and a twisted desire for vengeance. He ranted about the superiority of the Sheliak race, his words dripping with venom as he vowed to reduce Earth to ashes. But the team stood firm, their weapons leveled at the alien commander. They fought with a ferocity born of desperation, their weapons clashing against Raxa's advanced technology and formidable strength. The battle was brutal and bloody. The team pushed to their limits as they struggled to overcome Raxa's defenses. They fought with skill and tenacity, driven by the knowledge that the fate of their world hung in the balance. In a final desperate push, they managed to destroy the doomsday device, the explosion rocking the base to its very foundations. Raxa, battered and beaten, fell before the team's onslaught, his reign of terror finally at an end. But the victory was bittersweet. Only a handful of the team survived the mission, their bodies and minds scarred by the horrors they had witnessed and the losses they had endured. As they limped back to their ship, the weight of their sacrifice hung heavy upon them. The journey back to Earth was somber. The survivors lost in their own thoughts as they grappled with the magnitude of what they had accomplished. They had saved their world, but at a terrible cost. When they finally returned to Earth, the survivors were hailed as heroes, their names etched into the annals of history. But they found little comfort in the accolades, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that the war with the Sheliak was far from over. As Earth's leaders gathered once more, they vowed to honor the sacrifices of Randy and the countless others who had given their lives to defend their home. They committed to rebuilding their shattered world and strengthening their defenses, knowing that the Sheliak threat still loomed large on the horizon. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.